Welcome to Walk Into a Bar. This is the show where me and my two brothers get together and we shoot the breeze. My name's Phil. I'm a lawyer. Then we've got Matt, who's an engineer. Wave at him, Matt. And we've got Ben, who's a pastor with the three brothers, and it sounds like a bad walk into a bar joke, so that's why we called it that. Anyway, we are glad you're here with us today, and we hope you enjoy being with us, and we're going to get right into it. Today, we're going to start talking about a movie, and Matt picked the movie this time, and so with that, we're going to let Matt take it away.
All right. Well, the movie for today is The Matrix, classic movie from 1999.
Very classic, yeah.
Yep. And it's right down my alley because it's about a hacker. Now, I'm no hacker. I'm a software engineer. There's a difference, though some may disagree. And it's, a little bit different. And it's about a hacker that finds out that all isn't what he thinks it is. Life is different, and they're actually plugged into a simulator that is run by computers. Spoiler alert, by the way.
Man, I hadn't watched it yet.
So, this movie is perfect for me as a software engineer. I like stuff that involves computers and this kind of reaching way out there, and especially stuff that ties in biomechanics and software interaction. Some heady topics that I don't want to get too far into, but it's a great movie overall. Cast is Keanu Reeves, Trinity.
Can't remember her name. it's Moss. Her last name is Moss, and I don't want to dare to speak her first name because last week I got somebody's name wrong.
It's okay. It's okay. We don't admit our wrongs here, Phil.
Carrie-Anne Moss as Trinity.
There you go.
Lawrence Fishburne as Morpheus. So it's got a great crew. And I could go on and on and on. My favorite introduction is Mr. Anderson.
Mr. Anderson.
And as the Smiths, as they are called, they are agents of the computer that try to keep the peace inside the simulation. And they are the antagonist to Neo, Keanu Reeves' character, as he goes through working this change in his life. So it's really an interesting movie. I don't want to get too far down in the weeds, but definitely a recommendation from this software engineer.
Well, you may want to reconsider your not getting down in the weeds because I was talking with our other brother, and he took notes again. I must admit, I've seen the movie several times. I didn't watch it specifically in preparation for this, but it's a movie that I've always really, really enjoyed. I've always really liked it. Just a great plot, great acting, great characters, and I've loved the whole thing, including the rest. It's a trilogy for those who don't know, including the second and third episodes of the trilogy. Just I find it very fascinating. I really enjoy it. So I must agree with Matt there. But Ben, Ben.
So I think Keanu Reeves is a great actor, but only in certain movies. When you've seen him in Point Break, you just can't get Point Break out of your mind. It's like, yeah, dude, hey, we're gonna catch that wave, yo. And I mean, that character works perfect for Ted, Bill and Ted's. It works perfect for The Replacements. It works perfect for John Wick, even. Because John Wick, now there's a Keanu Reeves movie, if I can say anything. Because John Wick is that surfer dude who knows how to wield a gun. Don't kill his dog. He will go after you.
Don't touch his dog.
That's a movie I haven't seen yet. No spoilers, please.
My bad. We already said there were going to be spoilers in this one. So
yeah, about The Matrix.
So I this is one thing that I thought of this morning when I was getting ready. Is that who would have been a better Morpheus? Samuel L. Jackson.
No.
Would have made the movie.
Lawrence Fishburne is
I personally think I would have actually enjoyed the movie more than I did this time. I've tried watching this movie countless times. This is the first time I made it all the way through. I did stop in between to get lunch. and I did not watch it while I watched lunch. I will say this. The first scene, an action scene with Trinity, great. Loved it. And it went downhill from there. It got long. It got heavy. It lost my attention. I do have the attention span of a goldfish, but it lost my attention. When you're creating a movie, you're not just creating it for a certain niche anymore. You're creating it for the entire realm of people.
Yeah, but it was also made in 1999, so
Yeah.
the community was different then. Also,
Point Break.
No, Point Break
No.
is garbage. Don't even bring it up anymore. The
Yeah.
important thing with the technology used to film The Matrix is that they had one of the first scenes in which they did the slow motion cameras that are lining the perimeter of an actor. So as that actor jumps and does a kick, they fire off the cameras and they go around. The Matrix was one of the first movies to do that.
Yeah.
See, there's cool things behind the movie. I agree. But the movie itself, I don't think is good.
Well, you're wrong.
You're wrong.
That's all right. I
Ben.
can be wrong. I can be wrong. People don't like me because
you are
of this.
objectively and subjectively wrong on this point because it's a fantastic movie. I mean, so what if it's a little deep? Why would we complain about a movie in this culture, in this society being deep, especially the pastor complaining about that?
Here's the thing.
We want deep. We want something with some meaning, and there's some great meaning in the movie, especially Christian meaning, I think. Fight for good versus evil. So, I can't buy that, Ben. I can't buy that.
You have stretched. Here's the thing.
That's not a stretch. And I'm not the first person to say it either.
When I'm watching Keanu Reeves in a movie and the first jump, I think, wow, really totally look like Bill and Ted there. The first time he jumps, I'm like, that's Ted. 100%. That would make
No.
I lost interest completely at around the steak meal. You know, when they're having the steak meal, and he's like,
"Oh yeah, that's a good scene."
Yeah,
I
we're not
found
gonna
myself
spoil
going,
that scene.
What am I watching again? You know,
it's the intrigue, yo.
Yeah,
it is the intrigue. It's trying to figure out that plot. I mean,
the Oracle has dirty glasses. Did you guys see that? Like
how
her
great is the movie if you get the detail that her glasses are dirty?
I'm not
That's
in it
fantastic.
for the detail. I'm in it for the story, and the story was junk. Let's see.
It just makes it more real.
Out of 2 hours and 16 minutes, it gets better about an hour and 37 minutes into it, where the action picks up. There's a cool elevator explosion. I'll give you that. Cool elevator explosion. Helicopter rescue scene. That's quite amazing.
Also a good scene.
Subway Old West standoff. I love that Old West standoff. Mortal Kombat type punches and action.
Right.
I thought, this is just like the video game. But I don't like how the enemy can change into anyone, anywhere.
That's the whole premise of the movie, Ben.
Here's the thing. I don't like it. I'm sorry. I just don't like it.
The video game is literally trying to kill Neo. At every turn. And the lady selling flowers on the street can end up being one of the Smith agents.
It's so dumb.
It's fantastic.
Not your beer. The movie is dumb.
It's fantastic. Shout out USD School of Law.
Here's what I want to say. If this is your movie, I'm so happy for you. I really am.
I don't feel like you are.
This is not a movie for everybody. This is a movie for a certain niche. If you want to go down that road, like, hey, Gage, if you ever watch this, I'm sure you love the movie. All my love to you.
My wife's over here making fun of you, Ben.
And that's all right. You know what? My wife is making fun of you. So we're even. Here's the thing. This movie, I'm sure to people they love it, but it's not my bag.
Now, to be fair, Ben, you are younger than Matt and I, and this was like Matt said. This was when. Goodness, what year did you say it came out, Matt? 96?
99. You
99.
were in college.
Okay, so I was in college and you were in high school.
I was a freshman.
Yeah. So I think that may have something to do with it. But
yeah, his brain hadn't fully developed at that point.
That being said,
still hasn't,
both of my kids love The Matrix.
Okay, you've brainwashed them.
You do know that The Matrix is rated R, right?
They have not watched. Yeah, the first movie they've watched, they have not watched the other two for various reasons.
Honestly, I've let the 16-year-old watch it, but I won't let any of my other kids watch it yet.
If we talk about another Keanu Reeves movie, can we at least talk about John Wick?
No.
Yeah, I have to watch it first, but
I mean,
Yeah,
it would
no.
make a great opportunity for Matt to watch it. It's such a good film.
There's no plot.
It's
Just I'm calling it right now. There's no plot.
there. This is what makes it so good. Sometimes you just want to sit down and watch a movie where someone walks in and blows a bunch of stuff up.
I've only seen John Wick 2, and I know John Wick 1 has no plot.
Oh, I didn't care for John Wick 2.
I also know that
like
John Wick 3
1.
has no plot.
I haven't even seen that.
If we're gonna review another Keanu Reeves movie, I think it should be Speed. So
no, talk about a movie that has
Point
no
Break.
plot.
It's clear this argument will never end. I think it's time. I think it's time to go on to our next subject. And Ben, I think you were taking the lead on this one. Is that right?
Sure, I'd love to.
All right, let's
so-
talk about something almost. Okay, I'm not going to say that. A lot of guys can get behind.
Yeah, here's the thing. When it comes to movies or being on the outdoors, I'm going to pick the outdoors, especially if I have a rod in my hand with a lure on the end and I have a lake with fish. So we're going to talk about the pros and cons of fishing and what are some of the things and techniques that we use when we're out. And we're very amateur.
Oh, no.
Put it this way. I've been out twice this year, and we've been specifically fishing for crappie, because they're amazing. They're great fish to eat. It puts food on the table. And then we also like to fish for bass, which a lot of people don't like bass, but I love it. I soak it in some lime and lemon juice and for 24 hours, and then deep fat fry it with some Andes. But I like to use
deep fat fry with Andes chocolate mints.
Yes. No, Andes seasoning. It's seasoning down here. It's amazing.
That would taste weird. Lemon and
lime with mint.
And mint and chocolate. Yeah, I'm not feeling that.
Talk about a new flavor.
I mean, if everybody had bass that way, I could understand why they wouldn't want it. Luckily, some of us just put it in breadcrumbs and fry it up until it just tastes like grease. So,
No, I make it taste good.
It doesn't matter what you do to it. Bass tastes like mud.
I've never gotten that.
That's not true.
And when people say that they're bottom feeders, I'm sorry.
It's also not true.
Just because they eat crawdads and they eat the animals on the bottom doesn't mean they eat the mud and the fleas around that. Yeah. They're normally after frogs and bluegill, and they're after meat. They're meat eaters, and it's a delightful fish, and they have scales, so it's okay if I'm a Jew. So I like to fish for bass. I like to do the Midwest finesse, the TRD, the Ned rig, aka the turd. I like to finesse those bass with a little turd rig. See, and this is a point. My brothers have no idea what this is. It's a very slow fishing off the bottom, and you bob it up, and you let it float back down, and it sits, and it's like a little, literally, it looks like that right there. And it has a weight on the bottom, and just sits, and it floats, and it kind of wiggles, and then you pull it up, and you let it float back down. It sits again.
Huh.
And fish normally catch it when it's dropping.
So the fish we fish for here in South Dakota don't eat turds.
Oh, they would. This turd smells like garlic. It's amazing.
No. The fish that you fish for in the Dakotas and Minnesota is known as a lake snake or water snake. Northern pike.
No, they're not.
No, not
fish for walleye.
We do fish for northern pike up here as well, but mostly what we're looking for here on Lake Oahe in the Missouri River, which is like a quarter mile from my house, is the walleye.
Or smallmouth bass.
You have mostly people are looking for the walleye. You've never tasted a better fish than a walleye.
I give you that, and the crappie is considered a relative of the walleye.
It's part of the perch family.
Yep.
Perch, very good. Walleye is the best. It's a very sweet flavored fish, very tender, very mild flavor.
Yeah.
But they definitely are meat eaters. They definitely go after other smaller fish, and so they're definitely a predator.
They will bite
but
your finger off.
They'll bite your finger. They won't bite it off. They'll bite your
Depending
finger.
on how big of a fish you get, they'll bite it off.
I've never caught a walleye that big.
Well,
They're
that's your
overfished a
fault.
little bit, but we also get cats and we get white bass or striped bass. I can never remember which one's which.
Probably striped. They're
Probably
considered white
striped
as well.
Yeah,
So.
yeah, we get those up here too, and that's kind of people can kind of consider. Sorry, my headphone wants to fall out. People kind of consider those garbage fish up here because compared to the walleye, they just don't like them as much. But they're just not preparing them properly oftentimes, leaving a lot of the meat that's close to the skin and has more of that fishy flavor on instead of discarding that. It's not a lot of meat. It's not like you're wasting a ton of meat. For those who are worried about us wasting meat, look at me. Does it look like I waste food?
P.S.
But you get rid of that, and it's a really fine tasting fish.
P.S. The largest catfish I ever caught was in the Missouri River up by here.
We've got big cats up here.
I caught an 11.5 pound on 10-pound test with a floating Rapala one night.
Yep.
And it was the best tasting catfish I've ever had. So river cats, channel river cats up in Pierre, South Dakota, go get them.
Yeah.
They are amazing, actually.
They're really good.
And even my buddy said, man, you should open a restaurant with that recipe. I said, it's hard to open a restaurant when I don't have that kind of fish. So
the right kind of breading and deep fat frying makes just about anything taste good.
I did a Cajun flour mix.
Mm-hmm.
I made it from scratch, and I shook it all up, and I made it, and it was amazing. But getting back to fishing, a technique I like to use for crappie is actually a technique I also use for walleye. And I will throw a little minnow on a small hook. I do a very tiny hook. People think that I'm nuts for using such a tiny hook.
Yep.
Then I do about 2 feet up. I throw a little split shot on. I throw it out, and I reel it in slow after it hits the ground.
Yeah.
And I catch a lot of crappie that way. But
do you catch a lot of ground when you throw the line out onto the ground like that? Catch a lot of crappie when you throw it out on the ground?
Depending on the season. Summer, I'm not going to let it go all the way down to the ground.
I thought crappies were in the water, not on the ground.
That's a fair point.
I mean,
there's ground under that water, so there's earth under there. So think how I think, not how I talk.
Oh, ladies and gentlemen, it never gets old.
So another thing I've been turned on to something called the Joker. It's a little rubber piece of bait, and it works really well in the farm pond that I fish. In fact, don't tell anyone, but I'm probably going out tomorrow. Social distance this.
Will you be near other human beings?
Maybe. Not saying yes, and I'm not saying
Will you be within 6 feet of other human beings while you are fishing?
Maybe.
No, you won't be, because any good fisherman knows you stay way far away than that.
If you're in a boat,
tangle lines.
If you're in a boat, you're in a boat. Okay. So
it's a big boat.
We're fishing on different sides, so it's like 6 feet.
There you go.
So, but yeah, I will be using probably a Joker. I think he said he wanted to pick up some minnows, so we'll probably be using some minnows as well. But I will be fishing for crappie probably all summer long because it puts food on my table.
It does.
And I don't like to. If I have my choice between crappie or bass, I'm going to pick crappie every time.
Sure. Yeah. I like that. Makes sense. That makes sense.
I will, if I'm fishing for smallmouth, I'm going to pick smallmouth. It's one of the best tasting basses I've ever had. So,
Matt doesn't look entertained by this discussion.
Matt's not much of a fisherman. He likes to fish virtually, not in person.
In all actuality, I'm just sitting here thinking, I've got this lake that's probably 1.5 miles from my house.
Mm-hmm.
That I could just walk down to with a fishing pole. All I need is a community fishing license, and it's stocked by the Arizona Game Fishing Parks or whatever their department is. And I'm just sitting here thinking, okay, I could go out and catch those, but I don't know how to fillet them. I never learned how to when we were kids. I've seen it done plenty of times, but I don't know how to fillet them.
Neither did we.
Dad tried teaching me.
He tried. He did. To be fair, folks, our father tried numerous times with me, and I'm just too dense to figure it out unless I watch a YouTube video.
He showed us.
Yeah.
He didn't teach us, and that's not a critique on his style, but that's the plain fact. And I've had several people show me, but not a situation where here's the fish. All right, make a cut here. Go make
Right.
the cut.
Right.
Here's the thing. He didn't show you. He didn't teach you. He showed you. He taught me.
Oh, I see.
Life of
Ooh,
me.
excuse me.
Well, no, but here's the thing. I went up to
We know who the favorite is. Thanks, Mom and Dad. Yeah,
Thanks,
we get
Mom.
it now. Yeah.
Thanks, Dad.
Mom, I know you've told Lola and I this before, that we are the favorite.
Oh,
We love
it's
you.
getting deep.
Love you, Mom.
I
Deep.
forgot my hip waders.
Um,
Oh,
Left
Trust
mine
me, it's not as
downstairs.
deep
Too
as you
late
really
now.
want to think it is.
I mean, look, YouTube videos teach everything. That's how
They do.
I taught myself how to fillet
They
a
do.
fish when I got to pier, Matt.
They
I decided I wanted to go fishing, and I thought, you know what? I'm going to have to figure out what to do with them if I catch something.
they teach you the simplest way to do it.
They do. They do.
See, Dad goes about it in such a tedious way. He gets every single piece of meat you can. I'm sorry, but on a crappie, I'm not going to waste my time with that little less than an eighth of a millimeter slab of meat that's maybe an inch wide around the ribs. I'm not going to waste my time with that.
You know, Mom and Dad
cut
watch
that
this, right?
Yes, absolutely. And
Okay.
I don't have a problem.
Sorry, Mom and Dad.
well,
Dad, if you want it, come on and get it.
Dad doesn't watch. He kind of sits off to the side and listens. Is how Mom tells it.
That's true. And then, or if he's not there when she watches it, Mom tells him about it later. You were talked bad about. So
don't tell Dad if you're watching this by yourself, Mom.
You know what? Tell him. I don't care.
Okay, whatever.
Here's
Mom,
the thing.
Dad, we love you guys. We do.
Here's the thing. If Dad wants me to learn more about saving that little piece of meat that doesn't fill me up, I mean, I catch enough crappie down here that I don't need that. I don't need that little piece of meat. I don't need to waste my time with that. That's just going to take an extra 15 seconds out.
Well, and like you said, I mean, it is a minuscule part of amount of meat that you get that way. And sometimes you're just bringing in bones that you don't really want to have to deal with.
Yeah.
When I'm talking about the bass that I catch here in the Missouri River, I am making a conscious effort to leave some meat on the skin because the dark meat that's right next to the skin has a flavor that's objectionable. Whereas the white flesh that's not next to the skin doesn't have that problem. So, I mean, there's reasons why we do those things, for sure.
If you go up to the Oahe and catch smallmouth bass, I dare you to keep one and cut it and see if you find any of that darker meat.
Yeah, I don't know that you would up there with that particular breed. With these white or striped bass that we get down below the dam in the river here in Pier, they do have that. It's something that you want to leave it on the skin. It's just not fantastic. I don't have so much in the way of technique because I just kind of, I'm not really what you call a fisherman. I go out sometimes and I throw some things around, and if I don't start catching stuff, I pull it and I throw something else out there. I go out there for fun and to catch some things, but I'm not crazy about it like Ben is.
I love eating fish, and if I can go fill my table up with fish, it's way easier than hunting. No,
that's not.
Okay,
no, I'm sorry.
That's a topic for another day, guys.
Put it this way:
for another day.
Fishing, I don't have to aim, and I guess I'm a terrible shot. So
that can be worked on and improved, though.
Yeah, but that takes a lot more money than fishing.
I'll give you that.
So fishing's more like this.
Okay, well, while we're on the topic of wonderful summer activities and, of course, then drinking while doing summer activities, not necessarily alcohol, but
this could be water.
Fluids. Let's get into that.
Into what? Was it listening?
Oh,
of course you weren't.
Normal.
When Matt's mouth starts going, sometimes we just check out. Just kidding.
So what is our favorite summer drink? Who's going to start this? Is it going to be me?
It's not just like, I mean, here's the thing. It's not just like our favorite summer drink. It's that thing that you get done mowing and you want to come in and you get something that refreshes you or or you get done with the workout and you want to get a refreshment.
I'm stuck on this. What is this mowing activity that you talk about?
Oh, shush, you snowbird.
Hold on, Matt. It's where you get the mower out and you go over the rocks like you have grass.
Next thing you know, you're replacing every window in the house.
In the neighborhood.
Yeah, right.
Matt lives in I'm going to say it wrong on purpose. Nevada.
Oh, come on. You know that that's wrong.
I know. I said it
he
wrong
did
on
say it.
purpose.
Did say he was going to do that on purpose.
Yeah, but he would have thought that I lived in New Mexico.
Hey, Matt, it's that thing that you pull out in the summer when you have all the whooping snakes. Whoop. All the snakes that are outside, and you use it to kill them all.
No, we call pest services to go and remove them.
Oh, are you not allowed to kill
Really?
them?
Yeah, they actually encourage you not to kill the snakes down here.
Oh, what a horrible place to live.
No, it's a very finely tuned balance of the ecosystem with the birds and the snakes and whatnot.
Yeah, I've got a finely tuned, balanced ecosystem in my yard too. If I see a rattlesnake, it dies.
Yeah.
Because I kill it with my lawnmower.
No, because it's the circle of life. You can eat a rattlesnake.
Not after I'm done with my lawnmower, Anna.
Well, don't use your lawnmower. Use a shovel.
Yeah, just use a shovel. And just it. So what?
But
the snake can jump at you that long.
The 19 is going to kill them all.
I haven't. Yeah, that's it. They're going to get it by the Rona. I've yet to see a rattlesnake in my yard here in Pierre. I've seen quite a few garter snakes, and I try to avoid those. But they're stupid.
Scary.
They're stupid. They just. Oh, look! There's a mower. I'm going to run towards it or slither towards it or whatever.
Garter snakes like eating insects and whatnot, and they're good for keeping the insect population down.
And mice too.
I wish we had snakes in our area.
But we're not talking about our summer drinks. We're talking about mowing.
Sorry, let's talk about our summer drinks. Matt, you have the you have that one.
He's got the longest summer, so
I've got the longest summer. It's important to stay hydrated, especially out on the desert. So my go-to summer drink is water, the classic H2O. I know, I'm boring. I'm an engineer, so sue me. I don't know what else I can do.
It really, really sucks.
Water sucks.
It really, really sucks. Okay,
Gatorade's better.
We didn't do Water Boy. This is not a Water Boy review.
We should have done
we could do that.
So, water for me, the Tucson water, we talked about it last time. Really good.
Yep.
Seems to hydrate well. I'm going to continue to drink it.
There you go.
Next.
Nice. All right. So, man, for me, it depends on the day and what I have in my fridge. But I'm gonna go a little bit off the beaten path. I didn't prepare my brothers for this. What I really want on a nice hot summer day is iced coffee. Iced coffee that I make myself. When we have leftover coffee in the house, which doesn't happen too often, but when we finish a day and there's still coffee in the pot, I put it in a glass, I put it in the fridge, and the next morning I pull it out, I dump some brown sugar in it, I dump some of my milk or creamer or whatever in it, and throw a bunch of ice cubes in it, and it is fantastic. Fantastic.
I'm sorry, but your vegetable juice that you call milk is not milk. First and foremost.
No. Okay, for those who are wondering what he's talking about, I'm lactose intolerant. It sucks very much. But luckily, in Pierre, South Dakota, we can get milk that has actually had the lactic acid turned into lactose or whatever the reaction is. So I can drink real milk. It's like the lactate stuff, but it's Walmart brand. Anyway, I use that.
But I don't think there's anything wrong with that because Lola and I, because David has a dairy allergy and can't have any dairy, we have decided as a family that we're going to go to almond milk, which is actually supposedly healthier for you. And it's amazing. I love it.
It's not bad at all. Not bad at all.
So you're safe at our house.
I'm not knocking on it because it's wrong.
He's just wondering how you milk an almond.
Matt, why don't you just take an allergy pill and you don't have any more allergies the rest of your life, okay? Allergy pills cure everything.
No. What you do is you move down to Arizona, then all the allergies go away, right? Right?
Okay.
No, cats are still there, unfortunately.
Yeah, you need to experience
cats and me. No, cats are bad.
So, all right. So for me, I feel like I'm the black sheep of this family. Mom,
you are the preacher.
I love you, but after mowing, you just come in and get something nice and cold.
This was my second answer.
I I absolutely get done mowing. You grab one of these, you head to the shower.
Okay, I'm gonna insert mom's trademark line here. You didn't learn that at home.
Nope,
You didn't learn
I
that.
sure didn't.
We didn't.
I learned it from Phil.
No, I don't think so.
Blame it on the oldest one.
No, sir.
So today I'm drinking a form of that. This is called Dorothy's New World Lager, and I think it's fitting because it's Toppling Goliath's Brewery. Toppling Goliath Brewery out of Decorah, Iowa. They make some great, refreshing summertime brews. This is a lager. I never thought I'd like a lager until I had theirs, and it's not bad. They also make quite a few IPAs. I haven't had one of their dark beers yet because their dark beers are I think you'd like their IPAs because they taste a little hazy, Phil.
Maybe.
But their dark beers are seasonal and way more expensive than I'm willing to spend. But yeah, this is a nice, refreshing beer that after mowing, you come in from a hot, humid day. Humidity here in Illinois, where I live, is normally 80 to 99% humidity.
Feels that way anyway.
No, it is. It literally is. So when my dad talks about how when he walks out, it feels like a swimming pool. He knows nothing.
What was that?
In Iowa.
It's bad in Iowa, dude.
Yeah. Okay. So he walked out one day. We were up there visiting him. I wish I had a beer that day. No. So my favorite summer brew is a brew. It's a brewski. It's a beer. Normally, again, I don't go with domestics. Well, yes, I do, but they're microbrew domestics.
Microbrews, right?
So one day I was in Iowa, and Dad walks out of the house, and he comes back in, and he goes, "Oh, it's a swimming pool out there." It was like 70% humidity, which is bad. Don't get me wrong, but it's not that bad. So
is the reason why it's so bad in Illinois where you are, Ben, because
I live on the Illinois River.
Because of the political leanings of the
No, I
People's
live on the
Republic of
Illinois River.
Okay.
Yeah.
I like my answer better.
Yeah. So that's it. That's all I have.
I think those are all great summer drinks. And
Matt, what's that look on your face?
Incredulousness.
That is a look of you and Dad having this conversation about it's a swimming pool.
These are normal. These are normal conversations between me.
Let me tell you.
Pool.
You get on a bicycle in Iowa, and you're riding down the highway between two cornfields. It feels like you're riding through a swimming pool. It's bad.
It's worse in Illinois. It's way worse where I'm at.
I lived 20 miles north of the Iowa border. Well, actually less than that, in corn country.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I was working on machines outside, which for a software guy is not a normal activity. And you know what?
No wonder you left that job. You got an engineer working on like real equipment? That's not right.
Actually, that was one of the high points of that job.
I bet it was.
We do promote ADCO here.
Yeah.
Preferably in the earlier versions.
There you go.
I've actually got a bottle opener.
Nice. There you go.
So
that's our favorite summertime drinks. Not saying we don't drink other things, but those are our favorites. And we like them. And if you don't, well, too bad.
Give us your favorite summertime drinks in the comments below.
That would be great. Give us your favorite summertime drinks. Oh, guess what? My father's calling me.
Well, your father can wait.
Yep. I think that's a good place to end it, though, tonight. Anything else you guys want to say? We've got 5 minutes left.
Hey, you guys have a great rest of your day, night, weekend, whenever you're watching this. We love you. Have a great rest of your time.
Yeah, that's right. Thanks, guys. Bye.
Thanks, everyone. Bye.